Hi, I'm Eric Ladask here at IT Expo East in Miami. I am speaking this morning with Polycom co-founder Jeff Rodman. Jeff, good morning, welcome, and thanks for joining me.
Good morning, thanks, it's a pleasure to be here.
So, as I mentioned, we're here at Day 3 IT Expo. Thoughts or reflections on the first couple of days?
It's been an exciting show. One of the things I love about IT Expo is the caliber of people who come here, both from the vendors and from customers. Some meetings get set up ahead of time, but a lot of the value comes from people you run into in the hallway. I've had some very exciting conversations, developed some new leads, and a couple of prospective new partnerships.
So, speaking of exciting, Polycom's always seems to be doing some exciting stuff, but you've got a couple of more recent announcements that I know you wanted to talk about.
Right, yeah. One of the big things that Polycom has announced recently is expanding our operations, our ability to work within the cloud. That's, of course, been one of the major themes here at IT Expo, as has video. But we're actually bringing those two things together. We've recently announced the Polycom Real Presence cloud solution, which is based upon the Polycom Real Presence platform, which is our infrastructure system, service provider quality, that allows us to configure and deliver video services to enable service providers to put together business plans and provide video services to their customers, their existing customers, and even developing whole new businesses for themselves to quickly get up and running in delivering video service to out to their field.
So how does the ability to deliver video services via the cloud change the business model around video?
Well, one thing it does is because all of the capabilities can now be ensconced within the cloud, a service provider needs to make very slight investment. They can operate in partnership with other providers. They can either invest in the cloud directly, or they can access the services remotely. So the actual cash outlay to get up and running in creating a business is minimal, and it allows them also to be able to establish and try out a new business model, to experiment, to grow it up, grow it down, bring in new services, find out what works for them, and become productive and profitable very quickly.
So does moving to or adding a cloud model, does that make it even more important to find ways to allow different video conferencing platforms to interoperate?
Interoperation is always critical, and that's one of the things that has always been really one of the core operating principles for Polycom is operating on open standards, high priority on interoperability with other systems. One other piece of that, of course, is that you want to maximize your ability to sort of leverage investments that you've already made. You don't want to have to throw things out in order to bring in new capabilities. Investment protection is a key, especially for companies that have already made significant investments. They need to be able to work with that as they're bringing in some of these new capabilities, as they're extending into unified communications, as they're extending into cloud-based operations, if they're beginning to work with, for example, Microsoft Link integration for their infrastructure. With which Polycom, Microsoft, as you know, has been a very strong partner for Polycom. We have, at this point, I think it's 40 different solutions that work tightly with Microsoft. But Microsoft is another interoperability point. We can operate with Microsoft with other standards-based systems at the same time. And that has extreme value, as you would expect, for enterprises.
Has video become a necessary or almost a de facto part of unified communications by now?
Oh yeah, video's become a gotta have for enterprises. You can't collaborate without it, particularly as enterprises are moving Partnerships are a bigger issue. You need to be able to talk with other companies and to interoperate on video with that. Enterprises are, of course, everybody's global now. And when you have different native languages, you're working in different time zones, you're working in different physical environments, you need to be able to see the people that you're talking with to really get the best communications with those people.
How much is cloud going to drive new opportunities for Polycom in terms of extending your customer, your user base quickly?
I think because of the fact that cloud really accelerates an enterprise or a service provider's ability to extend their video connectivity, that obviously is a good thing for Polycom and for the service providers. Polycom, it provides both endpoints across an entire range, from mobility platforms all the way up to the first immersive rooms that were ever shipped. Polycom also provides video capabilities, the entire platform that you need to make cloud-based operations possible. So everything from content management to virtualization management, so that you've got really a world scale scalability, which is one thing you need to have. At this point, actually, Polycom has the largest, by far, operation capability in video. We're 5 times the capacity of the next competitor, with the ability to run 25,000 simultaneous sessions, 75,000 registrations, and that's continuing to grow. But part of the reason that happens is that our basic architecture on which we're building this was structured from the very beginning in the anticipation that video was going to grow massively. So we didn't start with a 10 endpoint system and say, can we stretch it to 20? We started with something that says, we're building the telephone network of the future.
Has it gotten into how much has it gotten into the mobile space?
It's growing very rapidly. I think Gartner estimates that it's in the next 3 years, it's going to grow by a factor of about 14 to 140 million chats occurring at the same time is what they're anticipating. And of course, people have been using these historically on their FaceTime device to talk to friends. But as we know, once you know you can do something with your friends, you're going to use it for business. And the next thing, the business has to have it. And of course, once the business has it, businesses start to get a little nervous because they need security. They need reliability. They're bringing high-priced people. You're paying 10 experts to get together in a conference around the world. You need to know it's going to be up and running. And you have to have a neck in the noose who you can call if there is a problem. Which is one thing you don't have with free services. So it really works out well, I think, all around.
So how's Polycom going to address the need for mobile?
Oh, Polycom has already announced and is currently shipping mobile applications, soft applications on the major platforms. So Real Presence Mobile, which is a video soft application. You can go to the Polycom website and download it onto your iPad, onto your Motorola Zoom, onto your Samsung. So we're on the major operating systems, and we're going to continue to extend that, because again, a major part of the need that enterprises have is not only that you're able to talk from brand A to brand B. It's not just a matter of who made the systems, but what are the environments that it works in. So you need to be able to have a productive session with multiple endpoints where somebody can be on an iPad, somebody can be in an immersive conference room, a full room system. Someone can be on traditional video conferencing and somebody else flips open their laptop, like I did this morning, and load up the Polycom soft, standards compatible endpoint, and they're up and running on a live video conference.
Does the growth and the evolution of 4G have to continue in order for particularly the mobile side of video communications to continue to grow?
I think that will certainly continue to help enable it. A lot of wireless video communications on the mobile pads happens within enterprises on the internal network, so that's obviously not a problem. The other thing that's happening, though, you've got a couple of advantages with a mobile endpoint. One is you have a smaller screen,
Sure.
so lower data rates will support that. Another is that the video codecs, the algorithms that are used for compression, are a whole lot more efficient than they used to be. So I did an analysis. I published a blog a little while ago that showed that business conferencing, the scale that we do, actually doesn't come anywhere near hitting the bandwidth caps that some of the common plans have.
So what's next for Polycom? What can we expect?
Well, we're continuing to extend our reach into the infrastructure, because to be able to tie together the world-class endpoints that we're also continuing to develop, you need to have a fully featured, fully capable, and extensible infrastructure that provides all the major features, that provides the content management, the virtualization, the resource management, the call control integration. We're working with our partnerships to extend video capabilities into all of the different fields that are out there, major verticals. Overall, Polycom has about 7,000 partners, from the really big ones, from Microsoft and BroadSoft and Avaya and on and on, down to small, more focused partners. But really, it's the open standards, the fact that we acknowledge that there are things that we do the best in the world. We focus that, and we empower our partners to do what they do best in the world.
Excellent. Next time I'm going to ask you to list all 7,000 partners, Jeff.
I'll take them alphabetically.
Jeff, as always, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Likewise. Thank you.